We are with State Representative Alex Ramel from the 40th District. How are you doing?
It's great to see you. I'm doing well. How are you?
I am well. I want to ask you about two things, but first, let's talk about rent stabilization. There's an update you want to give us.
Sure. So exciting news. The rent stabilization bill in the House Bill 2114, passed out of committee. It was a strict party line vote, which is actually great news because last year we didn't get all the Democrats. So we're actually doing better than we did last year, which feels to me like a sense of momentum and big opportunity to advance this bill.
For those who haven't heard about this, please remind us what the bill does.
If you're a tenant and you move into a rental property, you live there for a year, your rent can go up a little bit, by up to 5%, but it can't go up enormously. We've heard from a lot of people whose rents have gone up by hundreds of dollars, 20, 30, sometimes even 50%. And we know how destabilizing that is for people's lives, people who have to move, people who have to take their kids out of the school district, sometimes quit their job. And many people who get huge rent increases end up sleeping in their car.
Now let's switch to the second bill I want to ask you about, and this one has to do with oil and human rights.
This is a little bit of a pet project that came up for me after I learned some surprising information that you would have thought I would have known, but I didn't. One of the oil refineries in my district had been importing oil from Russia and was importing oil from Russia right up to the start of the invasion of Ukraine. Somewhere on the order of $500 million worth of oil in the year before the invasion. This was the time when we knew what Russia was planning. There was military buildup. It was in the news constantly. And this is on top of everything we know about the Russian regime and their authoritarianism and their human rights repression and anti-democratic processes, etc. So the intention of the bill is just to get that information out there. It's collected right now. It's on a government website if you know where to look. I didn't know where to look. But also we want to track not just countries like Russia, and I should say that Biden administration said we're not importing oil from Russia anymore, but there are other countries on the list that I have concerns about, and I think most folks would have concerns about, places like Saudi Arabia, that we're still bringing in oil from. Not very much in Washington state, but still enough that, I think it's worth taking a look at. So we want to track the human rights records of these countries through the University of Washington Jackson International School, and just have a short summary of what are those human rights records in those countries that we're bringing oil in from. What do those records look like? And then report out in a way that is a little bit more public about which companies are using oil from countries that, have concerning human rights records. It gives consumers a little bit more information to make decisions. And this, of course, is in the context of growing trend, both consumer-driven and public policy-driven, to electrify more and more vehicles. Washington state is using less and less oil every year. And so as we're using less oil and we're starting to make decisions about where to keep buying oil from and where we can buy less oil from, this is exactly the right time to take a look at the places that we should say, hey, we don't need that anymore and we don't want to be a part of it any longer.